Hello, and welcome to Technical Learning, powered by McAfee. In this course, we will continue on with our introduction into ePO with another component, agent handlers. This video will cover the agent handler's function, installation, and the basics of a configuration. An agent handler is a device that provides extended communication abilities to the ePO server. Generally, it's used inside of a DMZ to allow communication from external McAfee agent-managed endpoints. This allows even remote users to send in system information, receive tasks and policies, and be properly managed regardless of location. An agent handler can also be used as a load balancer, in redundancy, or simply as a way to manage specific physical locations. Things to consider about agent handlers. It must be installed on a dedicated server, virtual or physical. It has no console, as is a continuation of the ePO server itself. Consider it another arm or a limb for ePO to utilize. The handler writes directly to the database. It must have a strong connection to the database to achieve this, less than 30 milliseconds. The handler cannot be specified as a distributed repository. However, it will pass files to manage endpoints if requested. Let's install an agent handler. Using the same version and package used to install ePO, locate the agent handler folder inside the directory and move it and its contents to the server you have dedicated as your agent handler. I've already copied this folder to my desired server. I'll right-click on Setup and Run as Administrator. Click Next to begin the process. Accept the terms of the license agreement, and choose the destination folder for the installation. I'll use the default installation here. This screen is requesting the IP address or hostname of the ePO server and an admin account for login to the console. This interface is asking for database access. You'll note that it pre-populated with information collected from the ePO server connection on the previous screen. I'll be using SQL authentication, but a Windows authentication with a proper domain will also work. Click Install to begin the installation. Perfect. Now that the installation is complete, we can begin managing it within our ePO console. Click Finish to close this application. Now that we have our agent handler installed, let's take a look in the ePO console and do some basic configuration. To access the agent handler interface, select Menu, and either type Agent Handler at the top or select it underneath Configuration. You'll note that there are currently 2 agent handlers available. This is because ePO recognizes itself as an agent handler. This interface allows us to add a published DNS or published IP address or disable agent handlers. You'll note this can also be applied to the ePO server as well. However, the ePO server cannot be disabled or removed. The most basic of setup and configurations for an agent handler is an assignment rule. You can assign systems individually, by group, or by subnet. Handler assignments can specify an individual handler or a list of handlers to use. The list that you specify can be made up of individual handlers or groups of handlers. This is the most common way to add and use agent handlers. During installation, a default assignment rule is created. Clicking the drop-down provides this information. This assignment rule applies to everything in the My Organization. It also has a handler priority of 1, meaning that all the agents can communicate to any agent handler. Let's go ahead and create a new assignment. We'll give our assignment a name and add a system tree location. Alternatively, you could use subnet. I'll add my external users group created in the system tree. And we'll use a custom handler list. First, I'll add the agent handler, followed with redundancy the ePO server itself. As you can see here, our external user's assignment rule has been given priority 1, pushing the default assignment rule to priority 2. If you'll note, this applies to only machines in the external users group. The default assignment rule will apply to everything else. At this point, your agent handler is up, functioning, and receiving communication from endpoints. As a final note, agents already installed won't know about the agent handler until their next ASCII cycle. At this point, they'll collect the information from the ePO server about the connection information to the agent handler itself. At that point, they'll be able to communicate with either. This concludes the introduction into ePolicy Orchestrator agent handlers. As always, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more content.